Cool. So everyone, we're going to start with discussing about the paper 2 questions, okay, in the vector paper 2 module. So I hope you have your this one with you. And I'm going to cover a number of the popular questions first. And then if we have time, then we will cover the rest of the not so popular questions. Okay, so I'm going to start with question number 14. Okay, question number 14 over here. Okay, this is probably the most common of all the paper 2 questions. Okay, yang paling kerap ditanya, the most commonly asked question that this bentuk soalan ini, okay, is the most commonly asked, and it's probably good for us to start here lah. Okay, so question 14, we have this diagram over here. Okay, then you're given that PQ is equals to 8A, PS is equals to 10B, and QR is equals to 2 over 5 PS. Okay, usually when we look at the question, okay, I like to see what kind of information I get first before I start answering any question. Okay, it's always good, okay, it's always good to think about okay, sorry, I thought I read the question wrongly. Okay, so it's always good to think about what other information you can get now based on the information they have given. Okay, don't jump straight into the question before trying to dig out as much information as you can get. Okay, first of all, I always like to do this. I always like to mark everything out, okay, when I'm given the information. So PQ equals to 8A. Okay, so we find that this over here is 8A. Okay, the only thing we're given is that PS and QR, okay, are parallel. Okay, they are parallel, but they're not the same because we're given that PS is 10B. Okay, now take a look at this. The third piece of information is that QR equals to 2 over 5 PS. Now, if QR is 2 over 5 PS, I can say that this is 2 over 5 times 10B. Okay, therefore, this makes us 4B. Okay, before you start anything, okay, dig out all the information you can get first. QR equals to 2 over 5 PS. Therefore, I substitute PS in here. Okay, 2 over 5 times 10 will give me 4B. Okay, with that, okay, I can start the questioning. Okay, the first question is find the PR. Okay, PR is very simple. Whenever you start with, sorry, whenever you do a vector question, always map out the lintasan dahulu lah. Okay, so the first one is PR. Okay, the obvious choice to go from P to R will be PQ plus QR. Okay, you obviously don't want to go from PS to SR because there's a lot more work. Okay, so find the shortest way possible, PQ plus QR. Okay, you get 8A plus 4B. Okay, this is a 1 mark question, totally brainless because it's just putting in the values. Of course, make sure that the direction is correct. Okay, and as I said earlier, vector is all about direction. If the direction changes, the sign changes. But because the direction has already been set, okay, the P to Q is 8A. Okay, so then you find the PQ plus QR, very simple. Okay, you see, I didn't even bother to look at the question before I decided. I started to find QR first because I know if they give me this piece of information, mesti ada kaitan, mesti kita kena buat sesuatu. Okay, that's why I put the QR over here first. Okay, question A2, SQ. Okay, we want to go from S to Q. Let's map out lah. Want to go from S to Q. there are only two ways to do it. Either you go from S to R and R to Q, or you go from S to P and P to Q. Which one has more information? Obviously S to P and P to Q lah. Okay, the only difference is the direction changes. So map it out first. SP plus PQ. Okay, you always need to find the jalan. Okay, remember the vector yang dia mau kamu cari adalah vector yang sudah kena shortcut. You need to find the long cut to find it. Okay, SP plus PQ. SP is not 10B because 10B is P to S. If you want to go from S to P, change direction. So it will be negative 10B. PQ is the direction that we want, so plus 8. Okay, and that's the answer for the second one. Can I change it to 8A minus 10B? Can, no problem. Okay, it's the same thing. 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, sama aja. Okay, I can leave the answer as this. I can leave the answer A in front, B behind. It's up to you, it's up to me. Okay, not a problem at all. Okay, but question B is the one where it gets very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this off because question B is going to take up quite a bit of space. So, 8A plus 4B, and hold on, let me write it out. ER is 8A plus 4B, and SQ is negative 10B plus 8A. Okay, I hope that after answering so many vector questions, please get used to writing this touching and this arrow sign. Okay, because the touching and the arrow sign are non-negotiable. Kalau tidak tulis memang salah lah. Even if you get everything correct, you forget one touching sign kan, that's it. Gone. Habis sebelum markah. Sedih betul. Okay. Now, question B. Okay, question B states that it is given that PT equals to NPR and ST equals to NSQ. Let's start from there first. PT equals to NPR, or N, sorry, and ST equals to NSQ. Okay, then the question is express PT. I'm not a PT juga. In terms of M, A, and B. Okay, so the first one is they want it in terms of M, A, and B. Okay, that means in your answer, in the PT, you must have the letter M, you must have the letter A, and you must have the letter B, and no other letters. Okay, so let's start from what they've given. PT equals to MPR. Ada sudah M, so we use that. Okay, so PT equals to MPR, and we have already found PR from the first question. So all the questions are linked, and this is the danger in vector questions. Okay, you need to make sure that vector questions, from the beginning, it has to be correct. Okay, so that you don't make mistakes along the way. Because every mistake along the way means your final answer at the at the last of the question will probably be wrong. So always aim to get the question A correct, so that your B will be not so bad. So PR equals to 8A plus 4B. So N 8A plus 4B, and I'm going to expand this, which will give me 8MA plus 4MB. Okay, and I'm going to leave this here. And just another thing that I need to note, remember to always write the vectors at the back. Okay, everything else is in front. 8M ka, 8N ka, apa-apa lah. Okay, dia mesti vector yang paling last. Okay, because this is the magnitude and this is the vector itself. Okay, question 2 is PT. PT in terms of N, A, and V. Okay, question 2 is N, A, and B. Okay, there's only one equation or one relation here that involves N, which is this. ST equals to NSQ, but we want PT. Okay, the question is still PT in terms of this one. That means we have to kaitkan PT and ST somehow. Okay, so this will give us PT, we still want this one, but we want ST. So this will give us PT equals to PS plus ST, so that we can put the ST inside here. we want the ST to be in there because itu ada M. Okay, PS is quite easily given lah. Okay, PS is 10B. Okay, plus ST is given as NSQ. And where have we found SQ? We found SQ at the beginning over here. So this is N, SQ is minus 10D plus 8A. Okay, PS plus ST, which is NSQ. Okay, what is N? Don't worry about it. We just express it in terms of N, A, and B. Asalkan ada huruf N, ada huruf A, ada huruf B, you're done. Okay, so I'm going to expand this 10B minus 10NB plus 8NA. Okay, and as I said before, whenever you do a vector question, the final answer cannot be 3 terms, has only to be maximum 2 terms. If it's 2 vectors, every vector is 1 term. Okay, so you cannot, this 10B and minus 10NB, okay, we have to factorize it out. So what you will get is, okay, vector B, this will be 10 minus 10N, okay, plus 8N, 8. Okay, and you will get this side. So this is the answer for B1 and B2. Okay, this one, as I said before, this one requires a lot of practice. Okay, a lot of times you need to do it many times in order to get it right because it is very confusing, especially when you are dealing with a lot of letters. Okay, M lah, A lah, B lah, N lah, banyak huruf ini. Okay, but take the information as it is given to you and then play around with it. Because vector, after all, is just dia punya lintasan saja. Okay, finding the long cut to the shortcut that is already given. Okay, in terms of another vector. So answer for B1 and C1. B2 is here. Okay, then obviously after this is find the value of M and N. This is always the last one and it's the most common one. Now, what I want you to notice is that in the question B, you have expressed PT, the same vector, PT, you have expressed the same vector, but in 2 different ways. One involves the letter M, and one involves the letter N. Okay? Now, because this is the same vector, therefore, I can say that this must be equal to this. Because the same vector, PT equals to PT. Okay, and that's the reason why they ask you to express it in 2 different ways. One is in terms of M, one is in terms of N. And then because they're equal vectors, you can compare. And this is the singular most important thing when it comes to vector. It is the act of comparing. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this. So this PT is 8MA plus 4MB. It must equal to the other one. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this to put A in front. 8NA plus 10 minus 10NB. Okay, minus, I'm going to blot off everything. Okay, so when we do this, okay, the most common, the most common mistake, okay, that everybody does in this is to move everything to the left or to move everything to the right. No, guys, this is 2 equal vectors. If they are equal vectors, therefore the number, the magnitude or the number in front must be the same. So because of that, I can form 2 equations. I compare the A and the A. 8M equals to 8N. Okay. Secondly, I compare the B and the B. 4M equals to 10 minus 10N. Okay, and because of that, I can actually get the answer already. Okay, I will give you the answers later, but I'm going to stop right here. Okay, because the singular, and that's the reason why A and B you must not get wrong. Because if your A and B is wrong, okay, then this is going to be difficult for you. Okay, so the act of comparing is the last thing. The difficult part now is actually question B. Okay, forming the two vectors and not really knowing whether you're right or wrong because it's all huruf. Okay, and this is why this requires a lot of practice. Once you have the two vectors, remember they ask you to express the same vector. Both of this is PT. This is PT. This is also PT. Okay, this is B1. This is B2. Okay, B1, B2. And because they're the same vector, you can and you should compare so that you can form two equations and then you can find the value of M and N, which I will give you the answer later. Okay, so I want you to take some time and try to finish this first and then give me your answers in the chat session. Yeah. In the chat, sorry, in the group chat over here. Okay, pausing recording. Okay, so the answer to the question just now was M is the same as N, same value. So it's 5/7. Okay, I will give you the set of answers later. All right, let's go to the next question now, which is actually question 15. Okay, question 15 in your set. I want you to notice a couple of things about this question first. Firstly, that the question A is at the bottom and then question B and C is at the top. Okay, maybe dia tersalah lekat lah. Okay, but it's the same question lah. Okay, it's just that they put B and C in the top and then they put A at the bottom. So we're going to start with question A first. Okay, then after that we go question B and then question C lah. Okay, so it's probably a misprint lah. Okay, so you're given this triangle, okay, with no values whatsoever, but as always, let's do the information transfer first. We transfer all the information we can, okay, before we even think of the question. Okay, always do that. So first one is NML is a straight line such that NM equals to 3 ml. Okay, NM equals to 3 ml. Now I'm going to change this over first. NM over ml equals to 3/1. Okay, now this is a very important piece of information because this tells us the ratio. NM is 3 parts. ml is 1 part. It means the whole thing altogether is 4 parts. NM is 3 parts, ml is 1 part. Okay, this one piece of information which people like, okay, actually tells us a lot of very important things. Okay, write it down in terms of a ratio so that you can see, NM adalah 3, ml adalah 1. Okay, never forget this. Okay, second piece of information, E and F are 2 points on the lines MK and NK respectively, so that KE over KM is 2/3. Another one, KE, KM is 2 nisbah 3. Okay, let's do this. KE over KM is 2/3. We change the ratio to division. We find that KE is 2 parts. Okay, but KM is 3 parts. Which means KE is 2 parts. K to M is 3 parts. Therefore, E to M is 1 part. Okay? All these are important information which we will come to in a while. Another one is NF and FK is 2:1. NF, FK is 2:1, or NF over FK is 2/1. Okay, NF, FK, 2:1. So this one you can directly put this in 2 and 1. Okay, at this point, some of you may be asking, kenapa ini 3 tidak nampak di sini ni? How come the KM, this one, this line here got no 3? Because K to M is this whole thing. This whole thing is 3 parts. Okay, so perhatikan that sometimes when they give the ratio, they don't give it directly macam ni tau. Sometimes they will give you sebahagian dan sepenuhnya instead of bahagian 1, bahagian 2. Okay, so never assume, okay, that this 2 and 3 means ini bahagian kiri, ini bahagian kanan. No, okay, look at the letters. The letters will tell you. Okay, KM is the whole thing, it's 3 parts. I tell you, I have lost count of how many students, okay, take this for granted. Dia fikir 2, 3, maksudnya ini 2, ini 3. Kita ikut jak gambar. So gambar itu kan, ME kan kecil. Jadi ini mesti 2, ini mesti 3. Sepak muka kamu, please. Okay, read the question properly and understand where the letters are. Okay, because at Form 5, if you cannot read the letters, okay, then I roll my eyes. Okay, please read the letters correctly. Because I tell you, people make mistakes in this section. Okay? Because they might assume such. Okay? Now, let's go to the pieces of information given. It is given that LM is X. Okay, L to M is vector X, and L to K is vector Y. Here. Okay, take a look. LM is vector X. Okay, only L to M is vector X. Okay, L to K is vector Y. Now, I want to stop here before we go into this one. Okay, I want you to tell me what is L to M. If LM is vector X, okay, and I know that this is one part and this is 3 parts, what is vector Ln? Because mau tidak mau, we're definitely going to use this vector. Okay, Ln is one part, Ln is 4 vector X. Because from L to N is 4 parts altogether, 4 vectors. Okay, 4 vector X's. Okay, and this is a very important piece of information that you need to dig out before you start answering any question. Okay, because ini, all this information when you dig out first, then it helps you to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay, all right. So first question, express each of the following in terms of x and y. The first one will be Ln. Okay. L to F. So what do you think? There are many ways of doing this, but how? How? Okay, I would say that this would be Ln. Okay, because I already have Ln. Okay, plus Nf. Okay, but my big problem is this I have Ln, but I don't have Nf. Dari N sampai F. Okay, I don't have this yet. Okay, but what I do have is I have N to K. Can I have N to K? Nk. Okay, N to K is NL plus LK because I have Ln already. Okay, so NL plus LK. NL is the opposite of Ln. So it's minus 4x plus LK is y. That's Nk. So what about NF? NF, okay, NF is here, okay? NF is 2 parts out of how many parts altogether? Okay, if I want now, okay, if you want to put it like this, NF over NK lah, asal kita ada NK sudah. Okay, is 2 out of 3. NF is 2 bahagian, NK is 3 bahagian. So therefore, NF is 2 over 3 NK. Okay, which gives us 2 over 3 times negative 4x plus y. Okay, simplify this, negative 8 over 3x plus 2 over 3y. Baru kita kasih masuk everything in here. So you get Ln is 4x plus, minus lah. Minus 8 over 3x plus 2 over 3. Okay, ini baru soalan pertama. I know. So sometimes it's like that lah. Okay, sometimes you find that even the first question is already complicated in itself. Okay, you have to do 2 things to find the thing that you actually want, and that's basically how vector is lah. Okay, you have to find other ways to find the question, to find the answer that you actually want. Okay, so you'll find that this is 4 minus 8 over 3. Is 4 over 3. Okay, so this will be 4 over 3x plus 2 over 3y. And this is the answer. Baru soalan LF. This is 3 marks. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, okay, never assume, like I said, never assume that the first question is the easiest one and we can answer. No. Okay, we need to think about it in terms of what are the things we need to find in order to find the thing that we actually want. Okay, no choice. Okay, because vector is really like problem solving. In order to solve a problem, you need to have all the information that you have first. Sometimes you need to find the rest of the information first. Okay, second question, ME. Okay, M to E. Okay, M to E is actually 1 over 3 MK. Okay, because ME is one part, MK is 3 parts altogether. So 1 over 3 MK, and MK is quite easily found. MK is ML plus LK. So 1 over 3 ML plus LK. Find the pathway, So 1 over 3 ML is negative X. Because L to M is X. So M to L is the other way around, minus X. Plus LK is 1. Okay, so 1 over 3, negative 1 over 3x plus 1 over 3y. Okay, this is much easier lah. Okay, compared to the first one yang macam menjela-jela kamu mau mencari ni dia punya jawapan. Okay, but that's the first two questions. Okay, negative 1 over 3x plus 1 over 3y for MP. Okay? Okay, don't die yet. Okay, secondly, question B. Okay, show that the points L, E, and F, okay, show that these 3 points, L, E, and F, are collinear. Okay, now remember, collinear has 2 conditions that you need to remember. Okay, if there are 3 points that are collinear, okay, there must be a common point. Okay, in terms of L, E, and F, I would say that the common point, I will use it as E lah. Okay, therefore, if the common point is E, I should be able to say that LE equals to a certain number, I'm going to call this H, okay, EF. If I can prove this, if I can find the number H, means that it is collinear. Okay, if I can find a number that correlates with this one. Okay, but the thing is, let's not use EF lah. Okay, let's use LF. LF is so much more easier because we've already found LF. Okay, so I'm going to change the common point to L. Okay, LE equals to M, sorry, not M, H, LF. My point now is to find, this one. Okay, so let's find LE first. We already found LF, okay, so I'm going to leave this as that. Okay, hold on. We've established that LF is 4 over 3x plus 2 over 3y. Okay, the other one is ME is negative 1 over 3x plus 1 over 3y. Okay, and now we want to prove that LE and LF are somehow connected. Okay, but we need to find LE first. Okay, L to E is LM plus ME, which we already found. ME we've already found in the A2. Okay, so LE equals to LM plus ME. Okay, again, find the pathway. Substitute the pathway in. LM is X. ME is minus 1 over 3x plus 1 over 3y. So you're going to get 2 over 3x plus 1 over 3y. Okay, that's LE. Now let's put this in now. Okay, LE is 2 over 3x plus 1 over 3y. Is there a way that I can simplify this so that it looks something like this? Remember, we need to get the same vector. This is already too simplified already. 2 over 3, 1 over 3, we cannot do much. Okay, But actually, you find that LF, I can factorize out 2. If I factorize out 2, what I will get? I'll get 2 over 3x plus 1 over 3, 1. And if you remember our class, when I was talking about the textbook questions, if you can ungkapkan dalam sebutan yang sama, okay, therefore it's collinear. LE, okay, equals to, sorry, LF, LF equals to 2 LE. Okay, so L, E, and F are collinear. Okay, and that's how you prove collinearity. I'm purposely answering this question because to prove that 3 points are collinear, we always, use this method. We try to get a simple vector, and then we try to ungkapkan the complicated vector into a simple one. If you can find that, I can substitute LE in here, then they are collinear. Okay, in which case H equals to F. Okay. Proving collinear is also another skill that is required in both papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, but as I said, every question in vector requires a lot of practice. Okay, practice, practice, and practice. So, yeah, I hope, I know it's complicated, and maybe some of you at this point you're like, oh, okay, but it's okay. This video is going to be on YouTube anyway, so watch it again and again, okay, and see if you can get it. Okay, because you need to have that practice to find out how to prove that 3 points are collinear. Okay, given the area of the triangle KLM is 6 cm squared, state the area of triangle KLM. Oh, okay. K is over here. K, L, and M over here. This one, okay, is 4. Sorry, 6 cm squared. Okay. Now, I want you to notice that actually my drawing is wrong. Okay, my drawing is wrong, but actually K to M is the height. Okay, this is the height. Okay, and we find out that KLM and KLN has the same height. Okay, has the same height. Yeah, it has the same height, which is K to M. So if this is 6, okay, and we know that this panjang is 1. So it means L to N, the whole thing is 4. Okay? Therefore, the area of K, L, and N is 4 times of 6, okay? Which is 24 centimeter squared. Actually, it's a 1-mark question. Yeah, it is a 1-mark question because it just requires you to see that, first of all, this is the same height. I know my drawing is very ugly, but in the diagram, this is actually the same height for both triangles. And since this triangle, which only has a base of 1, okay, is 6, okay, and L to N, which has a base of 4, okay, is certainly 4 times 6. Another way of thinking about this is fine. If you want to go back to the formula, area is 1 over 2 times base times height. So the original area is 6. 1 over 2, let's call this base 1 times height. Okay, so what is the height? Height equals to 6 times 2, 12. Let's use this the same thing. So the new area is 1 over 2, but now our base is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4 times the same height. Okay, because they are both the same height, same point of reference. So the height is 12. Okay, 1 over 2 times 4 times 12 will give you 24 centimeter squared. You can think of it this way also. Okay, if it makes it easier, you can also think of it this way. But this is too much work for 1 mark, I feel. Okay, if you just understand that this is the same height, but the base has changed. The original base is 1, and then the new base is 4. Okay, because L to N, okay, is 4 times. of the original base. Okay? Yeah, I know. If all of you have off your cameras, there's something wrong. Okay, so we are going to, let's try another question. Okay, let's try another question. I'm going to go to a slightly simpler one. Let's go to question 1. Okay, question 1 over here. Okay. Question 1 is a question that is usually found in paper 2, but section A. Okay, so far all the questions that we've been covering are the 10-mark questions. 10-mark questions are found in section B. Dia soalan pilihan lah. Okay, but there's basically only 5 questions, choose 4. So if vector comes out this year in part B, then it'll be 10 marks. If it comes out in part A, then it will usually be about 6 to 8 marks, depending on the difficulty of the question. Okay, so we're going to take a look at a sample of paper 2 questions. Okay, sample paper 2 questions, which is found in section A. Okay, section A, which means 6 to 8 marks, not 10 marks. Okay, while I'm drawing this diagram out, try to see if you can put all the information and see what other information you can dig out, okay, from the question that they've already given. Okay, so far, all the information that we have, and this direction is not marked in the diagram. Okay, but it's important for us to know now. Firstly, that OPQR is a parallelogram. Parallelogram means these two is parallel and those two is parallel, which means they are also equal vectors. Okay, same magnitude. Okay, secondly, you're given that OP is 6i plus mj and OR is 4i plus 3j. And that's all you're given. Of course, the magnitude of OP, panjang OP ni adalah 10. Okay, therefore, I also say that QR, the length is also 10. No need to think already because it's a parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram will be same length. So, what is the positive value of M? Okay, the positive value of M can be found by taking the magnitude. How do you count the magnitude? Take both numbers and do Pythagoras theorem for it. So OP, the magnitude of OP is 6 squared plus M squared, square root. Okay, and we already have OP magnitude, which is 10. 6 squared plus M squared, square root. Okay, yada yada yada, you will find that M equals to 8. Yeah, I'm going to skip a lot of steps because this is a no-brainer. You should know how to do this already. Okay, at this stage. So question A1. Okay, value of M is 8. Once we have found the value of M is 8, I'm going to change this immediately to 8j. I'm not even going to bother to waste time to rewrite it as M anymore. Since I've already found the value of M. Okay, next is OQ. Okay, let's mark out. Okay, how do we go from O to Q? Okay, there are two ways. Either O to P, P to Q, or O to R, R to Q. Either way is the same because this is a parallelogram. Okay, and because this is a parallelogram, as I said earlier, this is also 4i plus 3j. And this is also 6i plus 8j. No need to think. Okay, because it's a parallelogram. So either way I use is fine. I'm going to use OP plus PQ. OP is 6i plus 8j. Remember, where did I get this 8 from? From the first question. Okay, don't waste any information that you found. Plus PQ is 4i plus 3j. Okay, and this will give us 10i plus 11j. Which is, which is the answer for OQ lah. Okay, this is very simple mathematics lah. Okay, now next question. Given that, okay, and this is where all the complicated stuff comes in now. Okay, given that Rx is 2 over 3 RQ. Okay, once again, we're dealing with ratios. I'm going to minus this first. Okay, I have OQ equals to 10I plus 11J. Okay, let's work with the ratios. So, kita diberitahu, we are told that Rx equals to 2 over 3 RQ. Oh dear. Okay, Rx equals to 2 over 3 RQ and OY equals to 1 over 3 OR. Okay, this is another ratio problem. When you have a ratio, not ratio, when you have a ratio problem, okay, bring the letters to one side. So Rx over RQ equals to 2 over 3. Now guys, take a look. Rx is 2 parts, RQ is 3 parts. Okay, Rx is 2 parts, RQ is 3 parts. If this, marking it as orange, if this is 2 parts, what is XQ? Okay, XQ will be 1 part. Because they cakap RQ, from R to Q is 3 parts. The whole thing is 3 parts. If R to X is 2, therefore X to Q is 1. Okay, once again, I'm reminding you to watch the letters very carefully. Okay, because it is not always equal to number. Some of you are asking probably, mana pergi nombor 3 ini? 1 campur 2 is 3 lah. Okay, so watch the letters very carefully before you ask any questions that makes you look stupid. Okay, next, OY over OR. Ayo, all these letters. Okay, OY is 1 over 3. So OY is 1 part and OR is 3 parts also. So OY is 1 part. What is YR? YR will be 2 parts. Okay, because the whole thing, OR is 3 parts. All these ratios are very important pieces of information for us. I bulatkan so that you can see the ratio in itself. Okay, so question is, what is the vector of XY? Okay, let's see. X to Y. X to Y. There are 2 ways we can go, which is XQ plus QP plus PO plus OY. 4 vectors you have to find, which is like, or we can use the shorter way, XR plus RY. Let's use that. Okay, XY is XR plus RY. Okay. The problem is nothing is given to you very directly. So you have to, kau kena cari ini secara berasingan, and then cari ini secara berasingan, and then you bring it in. Okay. So XR, okay, XR is 2 parts, 2 over 3, okay, of QR. Okay, dari Q sampai R. But you're given that R to Q is 6I plus 8J. So change it the other way, it will be 2 over 3 negative 6I minus 8J. And this will give you minus 4I minus 16 over 3J. Okay, so X to R, okay, it's minus 4I minus 16 over 3J. Okay, now we find RY. I'm going to change color. RY is 2 parts. 2 parts out of RO. Okay, 2 parts out of RO. So 2 over 2 plus 1 is 3 of RO. RO is negative 4i minus 3j because it's going the other way. 2 over 3, negative 4i minus 3j, which will give you 8 minus 8 over 3i minus 2j. Baru kamu kasih masuk di sini. Okay, so this one plus with this one, and then you will get the vector of xy. I just want to see whether I need this for the next question. No, you don't need. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here, and you can later check your answer. Okay, but suffice to say that, as I said, okay, all these ratios give us all these important pieces of information, okay, that we need, that we definitely need. Okay, so don't, always take time to go through the information before you start answering the question. Because already answering the question is already tough enough. Okay, it's made tougher if you don't have the information that you need. Okay, let's go to question C. Okay, question C. Given that T is a point such that RT equals to 5i plus 9j. Okay, so RT is 5i plus 9j. The question is find PT. Okay, so if I have these 3 letters, PT and RT, okay, 3 letters is P, R, and T. Okay, and I already know that I have what is PR. It's easily found. Okay, so I would say that to find PT, I will make the lintasan macam ni, PR plus RT, so that I can substitute RT in here. Okay, and what will I get for PR? PR is PO plus OR. Did we find this question? No. PO plus OR. Okay, reading outside, PR is PO plus OR. PO is not 6i plus 8j. It is the other way around. So negative 6i minus 8j plus OR is 4i plus 3j. Simplify this, you get negative 2i minus 5j. So PR is negative 2i minus 5j plus RT, 5i plus 9j. Then you get 3i plus 4j. Okay, this is basic maths. Okay, and then last of all, show that, I know, show that O, P, and T are collinear. Okay, I'm just going to leave this as this because you've already found PT. Okay, so I would probably say OT equals to OT, no, OP, sorry. Should we do OP? Yeah, let's do OP. OP, okay, equals to HPT. So put in OP over here, PT over here, see if we can find a common number. Okay, if we can find a common number, then it is collinear. Okay, if you want to know how to solve this one, go back and watch the videos. Watch this video maybe about half an hour before. Okay, I taught you how to find if they are collinear. Okay, definitely collinear one because if you have to prove this, okay, it cannot be they are not collinear. Cannot be they are definitely collinear. Okay, it's just how to prove that they are collinear. Okay, the way to answer collinear questions okay, is probably very unconventional because it requires you to think a little bit further. Okay, remember collinear points they must have a common point and they must have a common vector, which is expressed in another form. Expressed with another constant value, okay, HPT in that sense. And this H can be a proper number or can be even a fraction. Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's take a 2-minute break. I need to go and do something. Okay, and then if you all will need to wash your face and everything, Let's take a break for a while and then we'll come back. We're not done. Okay, we'll come back in a while. Pausing recording. Okay, I just want to find out something that we were talking about when we were doing the collinear question. Okay, I realized that maybe it's better if we fix a certain format, okay, on how to prove that it is collinear. Okay, obviously, just now as I said, yada 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 yada. But then, how do you write it in a sentence that says, okay, this is collinear? So I would say, that this, let's say if I do this, OP equals to HPT. Okay, and then I want to say that it is collinear. So how do I prove that it is collinear? Lepas saya buat semua jalan kerja, okay, and I find that, oh, okay, I can actually factorize out PT or OP in a certain way. Okay, then I will say this. Okay, I would probably write the sentence like this. Since OP and PT are parallel, and P is a common point. Therefore, O, P, and T are collinear. Okay. I don't know if this helps you in order to write the way to prove that it's collinear. But I hope that this does. Okay, write it in a sentence so that you actually prove that they are collinear. Of course, in order for you, before you write this sentence, you have to prove that OP and PT are parallel. They're parallel if they have the same common vector. Okay, for example, okay, I'm going to do this. I find out, let's do this. So we find that this is PT, okay, and OT is 6i plus 8j. 6 and 8 are actually, I can factorize out. Okay, then 6 is factorized out to I get 3i plus 4j. And we find that 3i plus 4j is actually equals to PT. So if I substitute this in here, I get actually OT equals to 2 times PT. If I can come up to here, then I'm fine. Then you're done already. After this, you can write this sentence. Since OP and PT are parallel, they are parallel because they have the same common vector, which is 3i plus 4j. The only thing that differentiates between OT and PT is the number 2. Okay, but dia punya dasar, dia punya basic vector is still the same. The direction is the same. So since these two are parallel, okay, and they have a common point. Oh, sorry, not T. T is a common point. Okay, both the points are common. T sini, T sini. Okay, therefore OP and T are collinear. Okay, so yeah, maybe in the future when you want to prove that something is collinear, stick to this line. Okay, try to see if you can find a common vector, and then after that, make sure you find a common point. If they are parallel and they have a common point, then the 3 points are collinear. Okay, so I hope that this sentence helps you when you do questions on proving 3 points are collinear. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to copy, okay, Darren, so that you get time to copy. And after that, we're going to end with answering question number 2. Okay, pausing recording again. Okay, let's answer the final question for the day, which is question 2. Okay, it's a question from Kelantan. Okay, and we are given this quadrilateral. Okay, dia cakap ada 2 lines that intersect over here. You're given the vector A and vector B and this whole bunch of information. Okay, and as I said before, the moment you're given a ratio, put down the numbers. Okay, so that you can see. OA and CB is 1 to 2. Now, if OA is 1A and you know that CB is 2A, CB is twice of that value, therefore CB is actually 2A. Okay, it is not given to you directly, as I said, because you are supposed to understand how vectors work. Okay, how the ratios work. Secondly, OC to OD, OC to OD is 3 to 1. So OD is 1 bahagian, therefore DC is 2 bahagian. Okay, 2 parts to this. Okay, and then of course you're given the rest of this. Now, show that OE, we're supposed to show this, OE equals to MD plus 1 minus NA. So we need to have this kind of thing over here. Okay, so fine. Let's start with this. How are we going to write OE? OE is actually NOB, but NOB. Let's start from here. Can we find a vector that we can substitute for OB? Can. Okay. This will be N. OB will be OA plus AB. Or if you want, OC plus CD. Even better. Okay. OC plus CD. Shall we do that? Is that? Let me see. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So OC. If OD, okay, is vector D, therefore OC, OC is 3 vector D. In three parts altogether. Sorry, 3 parts altogether. Okay. Plus, now the problem is CD. Our CD is 2A. There's something very strange about this question, but it's okay. Let me see. Yeah, we have to put the N below. Hold on. Oh, okay. I see. We cannot use this method because there's no N. Okay, we somehow have to put the N inside. Okay, we have to put the AE inside. So I know this is actually one possibility, but because the question requires us to put M inside. So we have to kasih masuk juga this M. So how do we find this AD? AD is over here. Okay. So let me see. AO plus OE? No. OE. I'm seriously stuck with this question. Hold on. OE equals to NOB. And yet you want to prove OE sahaja. Okay, this point over here. A to E. OE will be OA plus AE. Let's try that first. OE is OA plus AE. Okay, can we do that? OA is A, AE is MAB. Okay, A to B. But the problem is A to D is also AO plus OD. And AO plus OD. This still doesn't give us much. AO is negative A plus OD is D. So this would be A minus MA plus MD. This would be OE. Wow, how do I put the N inside? Oh dear. Wait, let me see. AO plus OE equals to N. AO. Wow. AO plus OD. Wow, this is an interesting question. Yeah, proving it the long way around. Okay. According to the answer scheme, it is given here that AO plus OE equals to MAE. Okay, they are using this and combining both together. Okay, give you this. So A to E is actually AO plus OE equals to MAE. Okay, so that when I do OE, okay, I'll get MAE minus AO. Yeah. Okay, minus AO. Okay, and if I do MAE, okay, sorry, MAD, my bad, sorry, MAD. Okay, and then AD will be this one lah. Okay, M minus A plus D. Okay, minus AO. AO is, how do I put the N inside? How do I put the N inside? Wow, I'm seriously lost. NOB. Yeah, I know. I'm lost. I'm lost because something is, no. It's here. But, okay, hold on now. Let's see if I can figure this out. This is the first step. Actually, the answer scheme gives us this lah. AO plus OE equals to MAD. Start from here. Okay, because we want this OE sahaja. Okay, so if I do this, AO plus OE equals to MAO plus OD. Okay, am I reading this question correctly? AE, MAD, OE, and MOB. Okay, fine. So AO, A to O is minus A plus OE. I'm going to keep this here because I don't really want to touch this. Equals to M negative A plus OD is D. How do I put the NOB inside? Sorry, I'm asking myself a question that is, how do I put the NOB inside? Because if I move this across, OE equals to M plus 1A plus MD. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry. This is n minus 1 minus n. Okay, the question is wrong. Okay, the question actually should be prove this. OE equals to 1 minus MA plus MD. But I know it is written 1 minus n, bahkan. Okay, when I check the answer scheme says 1 minus m, not 1 minus n. So please change question A. Okay, that's why I'm like, n has nothing to do with this one. So I'm like, okay, weird. Okay, 1 minus m, not 1 minus n. Please make the correction in the question. Okay, hence find the value of m and n. Find the value of m and n. Okay, if I do the other way, okay, OE equals to NOB. Okay, OB equals to OA plus AB lah. Okay, and this becomes the same question as we did the first one. Okay, you're going to get two of the same vectors and you compare. OA is vector A, AB is, no, vector AB also tidak bagi. Vector AB. Okay, fine. OB. Oh, okay, let's do it the other way. Sorry. OC, OC plus CB. So OC is 3B, CB is 2A. So this will be 3NB plus 2NA. And then this one and this one, you make the simultaneous equation, then you compare. Okay, if I compare the vector A, 1 minus n equals to 2n. Compare the vector D, I get n equals to 3n. Okay, then I will get the answer that I want. Okay, and then the ratio of DE to DE to EA, you find the vectors separately. Okay, find the vector DE, and then after that find the vector of EA. Okay, or AD and AE lah, same thing also. Okay, you should be able to find the vector. Then after that, you see ratio. Okay, so I'm going to end with answering this last question, but I will give you the answer to M and N later lah. Okay, but this is how we will do it. Okay, 2 minus 1 equals to M and N is 3. Okay, so let's see. Okay, you will find that, okay, after you get this one, M equals to 3 over 5. Okay, this is the final answer lah. Okay, and N equals to 1 over 5. Now you are given here that AE equals to MAB. Okay, question C, question B2. Question B2 wants you to find the ratio of DE to EA. DE to EA. Okay, so if AE is MAB and we find that M is 3 over 5. 3 over 5 AB. We do the same thing that we've done before. Whenever you have a ratio, bring it down so you know each component is how many parts. So AE is 3 parts and AD is 5 parts. Okay, I'm going to draw the line. A, E, D. A to E is 3 parts. A to D is 5 parts altogether. So ini mesti 2. Therefore, DE to EA, DE to EA will be 2 nisbah 3. Okay, because once you have figured this out, okay, then you just need to see which one. The direction doesn't matter because remember the ratio is just the magnitude. Okay, so there's no -2, -3 there. Okay, the length of DE is 2 parts, the length of EA is 3 parts. So the ratio of DE to EA, seperti yang soalan minta, okay, is 2 to 3. Okay, the difficult part is actually question B lah. Okay, question B1 is the one that is difficult. Okay, finding the value of M and N. Of course, it doesn't help that question A was wrongly put. Okay, but this question in a lot of respects, soalan ini soalan 2 is almost the same as question, the first question that we answered today, which is question, I don't know, question number 13 or 14. Question number 14. Okay, it is almost the same as question number 14. Okay, so 1.5 hours, we kind of answer 4 questions. But what I want you to do before our next class, which is I don't know when, take a look at the rest of the questions, okay, at the rest of the paper 2 questions, and try to answer them. On the next MS class, I might do something a little different, but we will still be doing paper 2 questions. Okay, we will spend quite a significant amount of time in this section because I want you to properly master it before we go to another chapter. Okay, and I also want to give you all time to finish your MS project. Okay, before we go into other chapters. Okay, so